Welcome to Early Days. Today we are chatting with Mikayla Balfour, the founder of Nexarina, a brand carving out space for women in snow sports. She's redefining the industry, but like every entrepreneur, her journey started with an idea and lots of challenges. Mikayla, welcome to Early Days.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Let's talk about the beginning of Nexarina, because it is a very unique, right away I got excited as a woman because I have really ugly snow pants.
Mm-hmm. Most of us do.
Yes. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Sherwood Park.
Okay.
Yeah.
And obviously into snow sports?
Yeah, so I grew up my whole life skiing, and then actually during COVID, I taught myself how to snowboard. It was something that I wanted to do my whole life, and so had a lot of time to learn. And so then I got really into it, and I started going for 3 weeks. I went like every single day, and then I would start going every single weekend, and now here we are 3 years later, basically.
So what was your light bulb moment? As we have the Early Days light bulb is our logo of starting Nexarina.
Yeah, so there was Inventures, which is this conference in Calgary, and at the time I was going to NATE, and it was this really awesome conference, and they would actually pay you to go there, and I was obviously very interested in that, but the catch was that you had to be working on your own business. And it was also kind of at the time where I was looking at co-ops, and I'm in marketing, and so there was just, nothing was really kind of connecting. I didn't really find any co-ops that I was super interested in. And so it was all of these kind of little things that kind of led me to think, maybe I want to start my own business.
So you obviously saw a gap with women in sports, with snow sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was hugely like the gap. And then I also thought, if I want to start a business, it needs to be something that I'm very passionate about. So I thought to myself, okay, what does nobody have to pay me to go do? Immediately I thought of snowboarding. I wake up at 4 a.m. to drive to the mountains, then to drive home. And so it just clicked that was my passion. And then I'm also 5 feet tall, so I really struggled to find stuff that fit. And so it was my passion, and then also a problem that I knew all too well.
Did anything else make your top list as you're writing out? Was there any other thing that you entertained?
No, it was pretty like after I kind of had the idea, it was just like more and more things had kind of come into place. I'd done so much research. It was such a problem, and it was something that I was so passionate about. And it just, once I kind of had the idea, it honestly kind of snowballed from there. So.
And starting a business, obviously never easy. So
No.
What were some of your biggest obstacles? Because obviously your first was it the business plan or the clothing first, building the clothing?
Yeah, so it was kind of a lot of planning. I was really fortunate. I was involved in a bunch of kind of student programs that kind of got you through all of the different really important stages, like those customer discovery, doing those interviews, really kind of taking the time to find out what the problem was. So that kind of was good to get through those stages. But as for like the biggest obstacles, one of the biggest ones initially was I had to do a rebrand very early on. My name initially was Grit Snow, so it stood for growth, resilience, inclusion, and technology, which is what's missing in the outerwear market. But Grit is a hockey bag company, so I couldn't trademark it. And so Nexarina I changed the spelling a little bit, but it's kind of my play on Grit Snow in Latin and Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think for any young entrepreneur listening, that's a great first piece of advice. Make sure you check your name every which way from Sunday.
Yes. No, it's so important because, the worst thing that you can do is, develop all this product and then run into trademarking issues or another company having issues.
So you land on the name Nexarina. What's next step?
So next step for me and the business. So we launched kind of a lifestyle line to kind of keep the momentum going as I kind of finished up my prototyping and to kind of get, it was kind of a stepping stone to selling the snow pants and jackets. But we will be launching our pre-orders for those May 1st, and they'll be closing May 30th.
So let's talk about why you are doing that, because that was interesting. It's nexarina.com if you want to go have a look at it, even while you're listening to this podcast. But so you're doing a pre-order. Have you made any of the snowsuits yet?
Yes. So I have had this is my third season of prototyping of different. This year it was kind of finalizing, fine tuning. But yeah, I've made probably about 50 snow pants and jackets total. And then once you pre-order, you'll be getting them for when they arrive in the fall.
So when you pre-order, how do you know for sizing and everything? Because as you mentioned, you're 5 feet tall. And then how do you, someone that if they order online, how does that work?
Yeah, so our sizes run from extra small to extra large, and then we have short, regular, long, so 15 sizes. So the size range, we have a full kind of size guide that helps on our website, but the general rule is pretty standard sizing if you're extra small or extra large or anything in between there. But then short kind of fits 4'11" to 5'3", regular fits 5'4" to 5'7", and then the long is typically 5'8" to 6'1".
So you do the pre-orders probably then, so you're custom making them to order, so your cash outlay up front doesn't have to be there.
Yeah. So we want to, and also even when I did the sweatsuits, it really helped me kind of figure out what sizes would sell more or less. You know, I thought medium short that we would have a lot more sales than what we did in that, but then even like our small regular, we sold out very early on. So kind of did a little bit of investigating early on of what the sizes would be, but then also our pre-orders will help make sure that we're just ordering, you know, the sizes that people need.
So funding and resources are a huge challenge for any young entrepreneurs. So how did you get Nexarina off the ground financially?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate. I competed in quite a few pitch competitions and very fortunate to place in a good chunk of them. So that definitely helps. There's also a lot of resources to kind of help a student entrepreneur. So those were really great. But then I also work, I did work part-time as a lifeguard and swimming instructor throughout my entire post-secondary. And now I have a full-time job, which is help funding it.
Okay. So I this kind of fascinates me because what is, you know, if you look down the road, what would your ultimate goal for Nexarina be then?
Yeah, so ultimate goal is it's not just like snow pants and jackets. I had such a hard time finding boots, bindings, especially like I have kind of different shaped feet. So, and one size just doesn't fit all in snow pants, jackets, boots, everything like that. So I want it to expand into like snow equipment, but then also in the future, I would love to do like dirt biking, golf. I want it to be a female like sports apparel and equipment brand.
I think you have definitely found a niche in a market because I told you when you came in that I sent it to my girlfriend right away when I said, check this, we've got to order this because we look atrocious in our snow pants from 1942. So yeah, it's funny. You just settle. Oh, that'll be good enough.
Yeah, no, exactly. And you can be warm and stylish. It is a thing. So yeah,
it is possible. Now the outdoor and the snow sports, it's obviously a competitive industry. So how have you approached it to obviously to stand out amongst the women? But you came from a marketing background, so it's kind of all tying in together now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. And with this market, there is a lot of challenges in the aspects that there is so many big players with a very, very large market share. And so for me to really stand out, it really was kind of that female focus, but then also people love the story of, you know, I'm a female and I'm building this, even actually last 2 weeks ago, I guess, for International Women's Day, I went down to Montana and I collaborated. I went there because Showdown is owned by another woman. She's very, very big into supporting women. There's actually only 3 women that own a ski resort in the entire world. And so really just leveraging those women focused, women sticking together, building kind of that community is really how we'll stand out.
So how have you navigated like the manufacturing of these outfits? So you've got the design, obviously, of them. They look awesome on the website, but the manufacturing, what does that all come down to, especially within this tumultuous climate we're in right now?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate. I kind of learned about design and manufacturing at the same time. I don't have any background in design. And so I went to all of these conferences around, mainly in the States, actually, and I just learned everything about the industry, about design, about where things were going. But then I also learned a lot about manufacturing and met a bunch of manufacturers. And I was really fortunate that I made a really good relationship with one, kind of explained my situation, how there's a huge gap in the market, and they were willing to kind of work with me on a lower minimum order quantity because most factories it's 1,500 is the minimum, which is a lot for a startup. So that's a huge barrier.
That would be. Now, so how is there a limit on how many of you so you're going to go out and get the pre-orders coming up. So how are you going to market that to people, first of all, to get the word out that you can pre-order in May for these outfits to be ready for fall time?
Yeah, so there'll be a few different layers to it. A big one has been I've worked with some influencers that they've been along throughout the prototyping process. They've really kind of gotten the word out, gotten their followers involved. So everyone kind of feels like they're a part of the journey, and so that's been really amazing to get the word out of what I've been doing, as well as through my kind of social media. I also have been on the news a few times, so just kind of like leveraging all of those PR connections, and then all of the kind of social media and just kind of building on what I've built so far.
Or just send a bunch of people to the hill in your outfits and everybody, where the heck you get that outfit?
Oh yeah, we're there very frequently. Yeah,
I believe that.
And building up a lot of hype, and people, even just on the chairlift, we'll just start talking to people, and they'll want our business card. We'll give them some stickers, and just getting the word out there is really important.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, this entrepreneur hasn't taken away from your skiing, I hope.
No, I was kind of laughing about it the other day. I was like, going on a business trip, I'm like, I'm going, and I get to take a bunch of photos, and I get to go snowboarding with a bunch of my girlfriends. I'm like, I really did pick the best thing ever. Like, I'm working technically right now, but I'm like, it definitely gets to even going testing them out. I get to go snowboarding, so it's a win-win, really.
My next question was going to be, what's the most rewarding part of your journey so far? That would probably be it.
Yeah, that would be a huge part, and actually a few. I think last season, I had forgotten my snow pants, and I'd grabbed just kind of one of my old ones that weren't mine, and they were so long, I had to like tuck them under, and I kind of forgot that like now I just wear my snow pants and I don't have to think about it, or my jacket. I don't have to roll my sleeves up. I don't have to, try to alter it and have it fit me. So kind of was just a reminder. I was like, wow. And then next time riding it, I was like, wow, I totally forgot how amazing that was, just to have something that fits and something that I feel good in. So,
and that's the important thing, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. You got if you feel good at it, you might even ski better.
Yeah, exactly.
If you had to sum up your approach to branding and community building in one sentence, what would that be? What do you see that as?
I would say that it's very raw and authentic. I think, I've had a lot of different kind of challenges to go through, and I think I've been really honest about that, and that's really allowed people to kind of connect with me. And I think, on social media especially, you just see these like overnight successes, and it just seems like this business, they built this product and they sold out overnight, but that's just not how it is. And so I think people really kind of connect with somebody saying, like, these are the challenges. I didn't sell out overnight. I have sold some, but like there are these issues and these things that I'm constantly working through, and people just really kind of connect through that.
Do you see that always as an online store, or would you want them to get into physical stores in the future?
Yeah, so I have my sweatsuits in Room or Board Shop as well as Ski Cellar, and then my stuff will be for my snow pants and jackets. Those will be in those stores as well, but I really do want to expand into other stores throughout Canada and the US.
I saw some pretty funky beanies too you had as well.
Yeah, some beanies as well. Those are kind of like with the sweatsuits to kind of get the word out of what I was kind of doing. Is kind of people can kind of help fund my mission to launch the snow pants and jackets through that. And then it also kind of encompasses, the male quality technology, but also a lot more, has like the 3 sizes as well.
Okay.
Yeah, for the sweatpants.
So as a young entrepreneur, what leadership lessons do you think you have learned? Because it sounds like, are you a one-person operation right now? You wear all the toques? You wear all the beanies?
Yeah, I do wear all the beanies. When I initially started, I definitely had a bit of a bigger team. Right now, it's pretty much just me. I do have like a few mentors that I kind of consult with. But yeah, it's just me pretty much right now.
One thing that's hit me as we've talked over these past few minutes is the fact that you do a lot of research. You seek out information.
Totally.
Would that be a huge tip that you would give to a young entrepreneur listening?
Yeah, I would say definitely do your research, listen to your customer. Even for me, for example, like I built my first time prototyping for other people. My first year I built it just for me. The second year I had a bunch of different people, different shapes, different sizes. And I had just like a little card pocket right here where you would put your lift pass, and I just would walk right through. But my friend is like almost 6 feet tall. And so she couldn't. She had to like awkwardly trying to kind of bend down. I was like, oh, I never thought of that. Like I thought it was perfect, but I have a very different experience. And so it was through that, testing it, getting that feedback that I was like, okay, we'll put one down here. So if you're taller, then you can also just walk right through.
What other things that have you put with these snowsuits that you just a woman would go, oh yeah, this is good?
Okay, well, I have lots of pockets. Like this one right here is my designated like lip chat pocket, basically. The one thing on the jacket that's really cool is it's lined with aerogel. So the one pocket right here, it has a little media port, so you can put your headphones through there. But then it's also lined with aerogel, which was developed by NASA, so your phone won't die when it gets cold out. Lots of pockets. And then like the bib and the pants are a lot more adjustable. Us women, our weight fluctuates and, our stomachs are such different sizes. So it's built to be a lot more adjustable and adjust to you depending on your size. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. The theme of women in snow sports is core to what Nexarina is. Yeah. How do you see that industry evolving? Do you feel it's just going to get bigger?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. And I think, women now more and more, even a few years ago, actually before COVID, I couldn't go to the store and find a pair of jeans that would fit me. Guys have always been like 32, 34. They've always had the waist and length. Only up until COVID did Abercrombie, Aritzia, they started introducing the short, regular, long. So then I could go to the store, find a pair of jeans, and they would just fit. Then the outerwear industry is definitely lagging, but I think more and more people are going to start expecting, one size does not fit all, and we need stuff that fits us rather than things that we have to try to fit into.
Yeah, or you spend a gazillion dollars trying to get everything altered or whatever. Yeah, because I find that for you with the next level, what would you like to see Nexarina? Where next after? So you get the pre-orders, you get all this orders coming in. You're going to have everybody ready for fall. Mm-hmm. What do you see on the horizon?
On the horizon, I definitely think I've been really fortunate to get into a few stores, getting into more stores, but then also sponsoring more events. There's lots that are really focused on, I sponsored a Girls in the Park at Sunridge, but just so many, bringing kind of women together that, a lot of them are kind of nervous to go into the park, for example, and just really kind of more community events and bringing people together for something that they really believe in.
For those listening that have no idea or hesitant to take a leap about starting their own business like you have done, what would you say to them?
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think, a lot of the time people say, just start. And I think that can be really hard as an entrepreneur because, you're kind of scared of failing. But I think, the fear of, potentially failing, I think that's small in comparison to the fear of, regretting not doing something that you're really passionate about or, this big gap in the market. And even if, your business works out or if it doesn't, the amount of skills and opportunities and lessons that I've learned have set me up for success in whatever I choose to do, if I choose to do something different in the future. So I really think that there's only benefits to gain from, taking that leap of faith.
Has there ever been a moment where you go, damn, I wish I hadn't done that. I won't do that again. Is there any boo-boos you'd like to pass on?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's definitely been a lot, even you're at least for me, I was just in a big rush to kind of get things going. And, I would not measure things properly or just kind of rush through things and very, very costly mistakes. Like even my first time my prototyping, all my bibs were completely the wrong size because I didn't take the time, didn't have the patience. And so definitely you learn a lot about patience and a lot about communication, especially with suppliers and, when you're dealing with people, different time zones, different languages. So definitely you learn a lot throughout the experience.
Because you seem like a goal setter, are you?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
So you're probably, and that becomes my to-do list. So I want to get this done.
Exactly. Yeah. I have notes open all the time and just a little to-do list. all the time.
Patience.
Yes.
That would be a great piece of advice, wouldn't it?
Yes, definitely.
Where can people follow Nexarina and learn more about your journey that's going to continue on?
Yeah, so on TikTok or Instagram, that's where we mainly are, and it's just Nexarina, Nexarina. And then we also have a website, which is just www.nexarina.com.
In closing, anything else you'd like to say to our listeners?
I would say, yeah, just this is something that I'm really passionate about. You know, even you yourself, you've struggled to find snow pants and jackets. And I think it can be very daunting to go into this industry, but I am very proud of what I've built. And, you know, even I'm so nitpicky about all of my snow pants and my jackets. And, you know, I'm kind of looking at them like, what's wrong with them? But even when I was in Montana a few weeks ago, we had taken some photos. And it was the first time I was like, you know, like these are actually very, very, like I'm very happy with how these have turned out. And, you know, lots of people kind of say that as well. And it's something that you kind of have to experience. So
go to nexarina.com if you want to find out more. That is it for this episode of Early Days. Thanks again to our guest, Mikayla Balfour, for sharing her story. Also, a big thank you to our presenting sponsor, Prowse Barrette. Today's conversation is brought to you by Prowse Barrette. They are there if you need expert legal advice or support, from business litigation to environmental law. Prowse Barrette. Thank you so much. This has been awesome.
yeah,
and
thank
good luck.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
This series is proudly produced by the team at Road 55. Road 55 creates content that connects. For more information, visit our website at road55.ca.